Saweetie, I have to ask, why do we just get EPs from you?
So
Album.
that's a great question. Honestly, it's on the way, and I say that every time. But when I would say that, that was like a filler statement. But just to get, down to the ground and real honest in this point, I've been searching for my voice for so long. You gotta imagine, like, when you pop off of Icy Girl and you're thrown into the game off of a car rap,
Right.
it was difficult, And it's really important for our artists to feel comfortable and safe in the studio environment. Not that it could get dangerous, but in a creative element.
Right.
So the more I got to know myself, the more I think this is the first time where I feel like I've discovered myself as an artist.
Do you feel like, because you did blow up so fast, and I remember you had the brand deals off the rip to make, and then later,
and I still got them. Shout out to Waymo on Spotify for giving me them Waymo cars.
By the way, I had my first Waymo experience in Austin, Texas this past weekend, and I ended up punching the steering wheel because it was fucking tripping. And then customer service just started talking like it was God, and I'm on mushrooms at the time. So I'm in Austin. I punched the steering wheel. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this fucking devil ass car? Shout out to Waymo though, because they're cutting the check. Anyway, then out of nowhere, the music stops, and some guy's like, "Excuse me, sir, this is Waymo support. Is everything okay?" And I was like, God? What's up with this?
But you see how quick they came through.
They did.
Excellent HR, excellent customer service. Shout out to Waymo.
Waymo's great.
Yes.
No, but obviously, things happen so fast for you.
Yeah, to have a MAC Cosmetics deal and to have a McDonald's deal before an album is crazy.
Well, I was gonna say, like, your celebrity becomes so big. You obviously you end up in like the high profile relationship, and do you get to the point where you're like you said, you're finding yourself? Do you kind of confuse who you are and who Saweetie is to the world?
Absolutely not, because Saweetie was popping since high school.
Right.
Saweetie was popping since MySpace. Like, I would literally walk around and people would be like, "Are you Saweetie?" That's how popping my MySpace was. So I was always Saweetie. I've always been.
So that was always your thing.
It's just always been me.
Right.
It's in me, not on me. And it's just like I've always operated in that element.
Right.
But
I said that on Instagram, by the way. I put that on my little update. I put, "It's in me, not on me," and everyone said, "Hey, yo, pause." Because as a man, I can't say it's in me, not on me without it being gay. Anyway, sorry, continue. Little sidetrack there, but since high school, since MySpace.
Yeah, but I've always been in this element.
Yeah.
So I've never thought that it was a separation. I think it was more of a internal research.
Right.
What do I want to stand for? What do I want to talk about? And when you get popping that fast, people get excited and they're like, "Oh, you can do these kind of records." But what I've learned is you can't turn your back on what makes you great. So It's like I had to go back to what was true in my soul. And I feel like this EP is an elevation of what Icy Girl first came into.
Yeah, because I feel like you came out and it was like you had the freestyle going crazy, and then it turned into this, like, I mean, from there, I mean, the you just had like banger after banger after banger, and then I feel like it got to the point where you're like, okay, you got a McDonald's meal. I feel like I turned on a fight. You were performing Best Friend with Doja Cat. You're fucking everywhere, and there's still no album, which is like, it's kind of like never happened like this.
Yeah, it never has.
Like, you got so many hits, but there's still no body of work. I mean, you've put out the dope mixtape with Draco on it, and
Thank
the EPs
you.
and all that.
Yeah, lots of EPs, but when it comes to a body of work, I'm very sensitive about that because I really love music. Like, I love music down to the ground and around and around. So I didn't want to put out everything because the album was done during the McDonald's deal. But I wasn't feeling it like that.
Right.
If I'm not waking up and I'm not playing the music and I'm not addicted to it, it's not what it's supposed to be. So I really had to like dig deep. I didn't really take a break, but to like the world it looked like that because I was off of social media for a lot, but I was doing a lot of soul searching. Because I'm just like, what are we really talking about? You know?
Right. Do you feel like is because when you get so big so quick, then so many more voices come into the picture?
Absolutely.
You got new management, A&Rs come in.
Absolutely, because everybody wants a hand in the pot that's hot.
Right. Everyone wants a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at what point in time was it during that break where you kind of like, were you able to kind of like make your circle tighter and kind of just hone in on like what you want to do?
I wouldn't say that because the bigger you get, the bigger like everyone around you gets. Not bigger, but like it's just a lot of opinions, a lot of suggestions. And when you don't know yourself as an artist, and I can say that honestly, you're listening to everybody because it's just like, okay, you guys have done this before. You guys know what you're talking about. No, I feel like for every new artist that comes into the game, as long as you know yourself and as long as you're consistent, it'll pay off in the long run. But I was experimenting too much.
Right. What would you say was the record that you felt like got a little far away from you where you were like, this ain't me? Like I'm doing too much with this shit. I listened to the wrong motherfuckers when this shit came out. Was there like a record? By the way,
I gotta say this, and I know my fans are gonna be like, "Bitch, what?" So before Best Friend came out, I didn't like it.
Such a banger.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like my voice on it. The beat was crazy, but when I was writing to it, I couldn't catch it. And there was a point where it's just like, you've rewritten this verse so many times. We got to put it out. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's put it out. But what I do love about Best Friend is the community that it produced from the sensation that was had. You know, you saw like mamas and daughters making content,
right.
Sisters making, it was just such a positive record. So I really love the inspiration behind the record, but it took me so long to just catch a vibe with it. Doja did her thing. She went crazy. Yeah, she went crazy. She did her big one. But when it was for me, it took me so long to write to that record. And as you can imagine, it's her on a verse and me on a verse.
Yeah.
A verse is a verse, but it was like a verse that I kept rewriting because I just couldn't catch a vibe.
Wow. One of your biggest songs.
Yeah.
What is your biggest song ever at this point?
My Type.
Yeah, that's.
But My Type, I love My Type. My Type, I was lit in the studio. It was coming from an emotional place, and I said this.
When you say an emotional place,
so look at.
I want to know what.
But listen, Linda. So look at when I wrote My Type. At first, it was a diss record.
To an ex.
To a person.
What year was this?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, so
but the comments will tell you. Anyways, it was because at first it was something else. It was new whip Snoop, right around dip. But then I changed it to new wrist Snoop whip. But it was coming from an energy that was organic, you know.
So like essentially, you were telling your ex like, I got some new dick.
I didn't say that.
Right, but in the original version, you did.
Papacito, I didn't say that.
Okay. Right. So it started as a diss.
It did start as a diss.
Yeah.
But I changed it and it became a global phenom.
It did.
It did.
Shout out to
and you know that song charted with no marketing, no budget, because there was another record that was a focus track at that moment.
Which one was that?
It was a record. You know, it was a little 1, 2, 3, 4, but it wasn't the 5, 6, 7, 8.
I feel you.
So let me be great. When I had put out the focus record, the other song had charted with no promotion.
Okay.
So that was like a really proud moment for me. I literally woke up. I think Billboards come out Monday or Tuesday, and I was on the chart. It was like new hot entry.
And you're like, this ain't even the one that we was putting the
there was no bubbling around it. It just entered. And My Type, I turned that in a day before my EP was turned in.